Hello everyone and welcome back to the Pillars of Eternity Let's Play. Last time we went up the tower here and I don't know, a lot of strange things have happened, and if you've been watching this, I think you know what's going on. So we're gonna go into this mausoleum here because we have the key to it now. Items like grappling hooks and hammer and chisel sets are always consumed when they are used in special interactions. Oh, there's Seda. Also, wait, what? The cutest cat. Oh, I also believe that cat's actually made after one of the game designers or project leader Josh Sawyer. I believe that's modeled after his cat. Oh. Oh. Dang.
Nice and quiet. All right then.
That hurt. Iridescent scarab figurine. Summon Aedra beetle. Holy crap. Yes, please.
What is it?
Still don't have a use for this yet.
Yes.
Quick save. That hurt. I'm gonna have to rest. Yummy gold. Yummy gold. Lots of money.
Of course.
Seda here. A little girl cowers in the back of the tomb. Her face is streaked with dirt, and even in the shadows you can tell she's far too thin. She watches you, holding her breath. It's alright. You're safe. She inches into the candlelight. Her clothes are little more than filthy rags now, but ripped and stained fabric look like embroidered silk. You have to be quiet. Noise brings the hungry people. If she's afraid of hungry people, maybe I should step outside. Always the kidder, aren't you? My name's Seda. Are you hiding from them too? She watches the door of the vault, her eyes wide and careful. You're Seda. I came across some dargles in a house. The girl's eyes widen. You saw mother and father? And Amilo? How did you get away? I killed them. I had no choice. She picks at a thumbnail, watching you. She nods slowly. Tell me what happened to you. Her eyes take on a distant look. Her legs start to tremble. You're frightened and you've been stuck here for too long. Try to remember what happened before. She takes a deep breath and stares at the stone floor. There was a big noise and light in the sky. Everyone thought it was a storm, but then people started waking up. After they died, I mean, they... She twists her shredded sleeve into knots. Mother and father and Amilo boarded up the door, but the hungry people found our house. Her fidgeting becomes more agitated. They fought, but the hungry people always get up again. They broke through the door, and Mother told me to hide. Then I came here to hide, but the door got stuck, and I didn't know when it would be safe outside. Where are the hungry people? She whispers, and her eyes are round with terror. The ones outside. They don't sleep or die, but they eat. Where's your family? Yeah, we already killed them. I don't know why we'd ask that, but we're gonna ask it anyway. At the house, Mother told me to hide and not let anyone in. Then I heard a lot of noise, fighting and yelling, and her eyes glazed over. Then Mother told me to open the door again, but she didn't sound right. You need to get out of here. Is it safe? Are the hungry people out there? Why would I say that? It's still dangerous, but the path to the main gate should be clear. Run for it. I won't let anything catch me, I promise. Excellent. That's completed. Right then. Hopefully she's still alive. We're gonna take a moment to rest here. Oh, I forgot to reset my watch. There we go. Put my stupid pocket knife down that I've been messing with for far too long. Whoa, hello. You find yourself back in the space inside the grieving mother's mind. It is familiar this time, and even though you feel you have seen countless births from this vantage point, something fills you with unease. The sky has darkened, and the mist has risen from the forest to hem you in. You are trapped. You hear something. The sound is strange, dissonant, like warping metal. You grit your teeth against the noise, and yet, as it rises, the eerie melody drives at the numbness from your... Excuse me. Okay. Okay. The numbness from your limbs and clears the space in the mist. Sorry, I was about to sneeze. Ugh. The noise resolves into a dull tone. As it resounds through your bones, you see that your hands are in motion. And once again you are drawing forth life, something warm and fragile struggling into the world. This scene feels familiar, a moment you have lived and dreamed 1,000 times before, and yet something ominous gnaws at the edges. Focus on the woman's cries. The woman should be in pain, the natural pain of childbirth, you know this, but it is faint, distant, and you realize that you soothing the pain with your minds, smoothing out the eddies of pain, relaxing her thoughts just enough so that she can still push from within, push the child forth. You are taking that pain onto yourself, but the pain has layers. One is a pressure, a familiar welcoming pain, and the other, it is sharp, a razor at your consciousness, more recent than this memory. And as you try to recall how you've reached this place, you feel the same hollowness inside yourself, a pit filled with the clawing winds of a Bewick. The very thought fills you with disquiet, like the memory of a nightmare. Focus on the child. As your hands move, you hear the sound of chimes, clear and sharp, yet somewhere distant they seem echoed by something else. Wails of sorrow. Tolling bells? It's impossible to tell. An inexplicable sense of dread fills your soul as the child makes its journey to you, push by push. A malicious presence seems to surround you, and you lean forward to shield the child. At last, the baby emerges, wet and ready from its journey. A lifetime seems to have passed as the newborn moved from womb to world, and another seems to pass as you cradle the trembling child, waiting. The child cries out, its cry full of life, full of soul, the chime echoing in its thoughts, filling it with its welcome. The soul is blurred at the edges, as if you are viewing a soul from within a soul, but it is there, it is alive. The woman before you is weeping, and at her first cry, her hands reach out for it. You surrender the child to her, something you have done many times before, and as your hands move, the dull clangor sounds, and you feel a weight hanging from your wrist. You look down and see bones, tiny and malformed, hanging from a string about your wrist. They're heavier than they should be, and as they clank together, they make a noise like funeral bells. The mother is too intent upon her newborn to pay you any heed, and so you hide your wrists behind your back. She need never know, can't ever know. As you hide the bone chimes, you shiver, in relief, with premonition at the chill wind that suddenly sweeps the plateau. What was that?
Your mind comes bearing questions, Watcher.
Okay, let's learn about this birthing bell.
The birthing bell. It is where I could draw new souls into the world. I recall some of the memory of it through what you have seen, but not all.
What did you do when the Hullborn came?
The curse.
There's a slight chill between the two of you, a current of emotion. The next thoughts come slowly, almost frightened into your mind, like terrified children blanketed with a mother's fear.
You speak of the curse that fell upon the children. This curse that has fallen on this country.
She lowers her head. Something seems to surround you, a mist heavy and thick. As the grieving mother looks inward, it closes in, threatening to choke you. Finally, she raises her gaze, and the mist retreats. I know only that it is a scourge upon every hearth in the Deerwood, and one that threatens to tear this country asunder. Where is the birthing bell located? The birthing bell lies deep in the great forests of the Deerwood, at the borders of Glanfathen lands. Surrounding it, barely a town, not one you would find on any map, but it held an important place for those there, even if we were far from the beaten track. Small families, tied like a knot, joined at the wrists of mind and thought. All were welcomed. All had purpose. I heard the name Watcher in your thoughts when you remembered the birthing bell. Why?
It is because I once believed I was one, and others believed I was one.
There's a slow chill, and for a moment it seems as if she's going to fade from your vision, as if she can't bear to be seen. I think we've done this conversation before, haven't we? Cipher. There's another name for someone with our abilities. This cipher does not define you any more than Watcher does. It diminishes the nature of who you are, dims the flame of thought and drive. Yet if it calms others to define you in such a way, then comfort may be taken in that is cloaked as well, that serves to dispel fear, hate. Do you know anything about Watchers? I feel that they were once marked, hated. Such hate feels dim now. I can feel it. Others hated have risen for other titles. Others' hatreds have risen for other titles. But they burned bright in the past. Now hates have shifted focus, and they may fall on the same again. Either you or I. Why did you believe you were a Watcher? The world has many corners, and in some corners the name Watcher is more known. It is an easier title than others, and at times it is easier to wear. This is a conversation I've had before. I walked again in your memories. This time they felt strange. Your vision gives way to the feeling. You find yourself back in the space inside the grieving mother's mind. It is familiar this time, and even though you feel you have seen countless breaths from this phantom presence. Wait. Yeah, this is all the same thing. How is it no one can see you?
Their eyes see me, but their minds will not remember past the call.
A call.
My face is like the call of a newborn, hiding the face beneath. And for my body, I am able to wrap myself as a mother cradling her child. I am here, as you see me, but to them, their eyes see only the cloak that I wear, a peasant mother, dirty, shabby, not worth knowing. As a watcher, you see more than others. To the eyes of most, I am as unseen as the spirits you share memories with.
How are you able to affect minds? They divert the flow of their senses down a different path to a place easily forgotten. It is not unwelcome when one does not desire the presence of others. The surface of their minds register a figure, but the memory slips away. They see a woman, but there is no desire for conversation, no desire for any questions, and I have none to ask. What's that you're wearing on your wrist? She extends her hands, and the small chimes on her wrist sound at the motion, just as they sounded in her memories. The chimes are finely crafted of white adra. They are wrapped around the grieving mother's wrist with tiny woven braids of hair of different colors, from white to black, brown to blonde. You feel as if you're noticing them for the first time. If the birthing chimes were given to newborns, where do you wear a set now?
There was no child to carry it.
And suddenly there is a rasping cry across your consciousness, and you see her flinch, visibly as if struck. She raises her hands, and you see the chimes draped from them, yet they make no sound as she moves. This is about the Hollowborn, isn't it?
The Hollowborn.
The same chill you felt before is stronger now, as if it's welling up around your feet to your ankles. You feel a sudden urge to draw away, as if from an unpleasant memory.
The Hollowborn have a future. They can be saved, and the tells spoke of such.
We don't know if that's true, or if they can even be saved.
They can be saved. They must be saved. You have seen the beauty in childbirth. What good came into the world there on the plateau. You helped me recall it. It is a memory we shared. It is the truth.
In the memory, you hid the chimes on your wrist from the mother. Why? It is not what I hid, but what she saw. She couldn't know. The grieving mother squeezes her eyes shut and brings her hands to her ears. No more equivocation. What really happened at the birthing bell?
And what would you consider real, Watcher? The truth that was experienced and remembered? Or the one that burned out only to be swept under the rug and forgotten like ash from a fireplace?
What happened mattered. Forgetting it doesn't make it less real.
And how much of your own life has been lost to the error of memory? How many loves and betrayals were colored with the false hues of emotion? A pity to wonder how much of your own life happened the way you recall.
We should get going again. I don't like where this is going.
Yes, I'll take care of it.
Alright, moving on. She's certainly an interesting character. Yeah, man, these pants are coming apart. What's the matter? I guess we have to go back this way and see if we can find, what's her face? Harling payday. Total wages paid 400 CP, which is pretty much nothing. Cool. 10% experience. Some copper in the treasury finishes on turn 22. We're on turn 21, so in the next turn, whenever that is, day and 10 hours until the Warden's Lodge is finished.
He won't see me coming.
What's in here? Oh, cool stuff. The cutest cat. Cat this house. Let's enter. Let's see what she's been up to. And I need to put my stupid pocket knife down again. I need to stop messing with it. In fact, I'm just going to throw it behind me. There. Oh, now it's on the floor. Oh, well. I don't care. Yeah, there she is, just hovering over the fireplace like nothing of it. Hey, thank you! That's what I wanted. A woman bends over a roaring fireplace, feeding a splintered chair leg into it. As you get closer, you notice something unnatural about her, a certain pallor to her skin, a lack of movement beneath her flesh, even while her arms execute deft, efficient movements. And then you see the puckered flesh, ragged and bloodless over her heart. Eleth casts a wary eye at the vampire. I sincerely hope you're not planning on asking her to join us.
It's rude to stare, you know. Don't worry. I've no mind to start anything with you. After all, I've stayed in such good shape by choosing my meals carefully.
She laughs to herself. Saw you in a vision, just something you need to do for me? What? I need the words that operate the Engwithin machine in the tower. She laughs, a noise that blends the crunch of dry leaves with something piercing and white. That fool, Aldhelm. He sent you, didn't he? I can hardly believe he's had the cleverness to survive. That simpleton thinks he can understand how to use something without understanding what it is, or why it is. You feel a hot core of pride smoldering at the center of her soul. That needs to be eliminated.
He dabbles with ancient and powerful devices, with all the finesse of a blacksmith. He sends you here to petition me for aid after years of disparaging my research. I'll bet he didn't even tell you the tower's name, did he? That's his problem. Always looking for solutions without caring for meaning.
Problems in Heritage Hill are bigger than your rivalry, Acantha. What do I care? I've prepared myself for an eventuality such as this, and I can assure you those dwindling souls in the streets are beyond caring as well. Humble Aldhelm now by demonstrating the value of her research. My silence demonstrates it more succinctly. I'm ready to strangle her throat. Tell me the tower's name.
Ter Nuneth. It's called Ter Nuneth. They built the machine atop it to contain souls, hold them in place. But the others I've seen, machines scattered all over the Deerwood, are relays, built to move souls.
This one contains souls, the others are built to move souls. Where would they move souls?
Another mystery. Hypothetically, anywhere they wished. The real question, as always, is why? To intermix them the way a player shuffles his deck, the way a farmer rotates his fields, to collect them like butterflies under glass, to melt them down for raw essence. Unfortunately, I don't know.
How do you operate the machine atop Terranoneth?
Back to these Tinker's concerns. And what would you do with these tethered souls if I told you?
I'd release them.
So you say. And just what would you release them to? They'd abandon their existence here for another somewhere else, equally aimless and meaningless.
Could help you, but I won't. Pride lodged in her soul flares up, twisting into the shape of something that writhes and squeals within her. Here, I have specimens aplenty and time enough to observe them all. It's every scientist's dream. My answer is no.
What?
But what good is observing all this if you're going to hoard it for yourself? Tell her, Abattoir. An entire language at your fingertips, and she hides it away. Yeah, let's get rid of this. Ugh. The vampire doesn't seem to notice as you wrap your mind around the squalling, burning mass. However, it sears your very bones. You jump back, crying out in pain. I won't abandon this opportunity. These souls will remain here with me, and I'll accomplish more than any animancer in the history of the field.
Hoarding knowledge is pointless.
The burning thing roars to life. Nothing is more important. We gather and study it, and through it transcend the 1,000 insectoid lives that brought it to us.
And who will know about it?
The pride thing flickers as the flames around it abate. All I've learned, years of studying the Engwithan language, no one understands it better than me. That counts for something.
Knowledge is meaningless unless it's shared.
A foolish and false sentiment. Knowledge is meaning. It needs no external purpose. Try to extinguish the pride again. You force your essence around the burning lump inside her, but it scorches you. Your flesh is whole and unmarked when you draw back, but it nevertheless stings at the memory of the heat.
Your opportunities here are finite. One day that knowledge will die with you.
The pride hisses and sputters. It's a little more than an ember now. You're wrong. There's no conviction in her voice. I'll build it forever. I'll cling to it. That will give me something. Extinguish the pride. You reach for it, but it's still too hot to grasp in your mind for more than a second. It may not be much, but it's still something. You can't take that away from me.
Will that really be enough for you?
The dying cinder clings to life. It will. It must be.
Teach me what you know. I'll make sure that it grows and your legacy lives on.
Your words finally quench her pride, and all that remains is a black and diamond hard rock. You cast it away where it melts into the darkness.
So be it. My studies and efforts shall grow through yours. These are the words you need.
Her cold, dry fingertips rest on your temples, and you feel her reaching into your mind, forming images from the darkness. Runes flash through your head, but they are no longer just pictures. They have meaning, and you understand them. They're commands. Something triggers in your mind, a distant memory unearthed from a past life long since buried. You can see a vast array of runes, far more than Acantha has shown you, and you know their sound and their meaning and how they fit together. The language of Ingwith once more at your command. She retreats from you. Something has awakened in your mind. You understand far more than I ever did. Take this knowledge, then, and do what you will with Terranoneth. Now that you understand its purpose, it will serve you in whatever way you wish. A speaker of dead tongues now, and so he surpasses 100 frustrated scholars in a matter of a few moments. I don't suppose you could look at a few books for me.
Still don't understand why Engwithans would want to build a machine that tethers souls.
Perhaps they didn't. Perhaps that's why they built no other machine like this one. We now see the Engwithans as masters of soul manipulation, but they couldn't have attained their expertise without copious trial and error. Perhaps this was one such experiment. Certainly.
What do I do with the tower now that I know these words?
Turn it off, I expect. That will be easy now that you can read the runes. The vessels would still roam, but striking them down would return their essence to the cycle. But be careful. That machine controls hundreds of souls, and that volume of essence could easily overload it. Improperly channeling the essence would destroy the machine along with the souls. It would be a terrible loss for posterity.
You said the other towers around the Deerwood were constructed to move souls. How would the Enwithens have wanted to do that?
Another mystery. Hypothetically, anywhere they wished. The real question, as always, is why. Yeah, okay, we already know that.
That's all. Thanks.
Well, of course.
Hey, there's something back here. Average adventure completed. Him to returns to Stronghold with more experience. Spoils await. Excellent. Much longer until this is done. 10 hours, okay. Money, we're gonna take all you own, because that's your punishment. Prisoners? What in the world? You're not one of Encantha's servants. Please, you've got to get us out of here before she feeds on us.
What happened to you?
We're just groundskeepers. When the district fell into chaos, Acantha took us in, said we'd be safe until the knights got things under control. Instead, she locked us in here. Every week, one of those monsters who serves her comes in and takes one of us away. I don't know what she's doing, but sometimes we can hear the screams. Please get us out of here.
The way to the district exit should be safe. Go now.
Thank you. We'll never forget this. They're just gonna slip away from her then. Oh, hello. Spider fingers. Grants restore light. Endurance. Perception +1. Gloves. Cool. More perception for me. 14 perception. Excellent.
Yes.
Let's go. And you suck. Oh, and it's about time we finish up this video, so we'll finish loading this. And that will be that. So, I thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. There we go.